All right. Well, it is 12:16 on Tuesday after this episode came out, and I'm making it. I was gonna make it last night, the quick review, but I stayed up till like 7 doing something completely different, a huge project for another video, which isn't Total Drama or Dissension Camp related, but it will come out either today or tomorrow, and I'm really excited for it. So I hope y'all will tune into that. But instead, today we need to talk about the quick review because I haven't made it, and I was busy all of Saturday. I was busy all of Sunday. On Monday, I was busy the entire time as well, and then setting up the other video. I didn't even have time to make the multiverse episode yesterday, and then today I slept in till like 11:30, and I watched episode 13 as well. But that'll be its own video that'll come out in like an hour or two. Um, but before hanging on the ledge, we've come to our final three: Rhea, James, and Aiden. Um, and I said that I wish that it was Rhea, Hunter, and Rosa. And while I still stand by that, I really had myself grow on Aiden and James in these past two episodes. And in this episode, you get to see their breakup fully happen. With like at the beginning of the episode when Rio locks him out, and Aiden and James are well, they would have been forced to go together, but Aiden goes and sleeps on the beach instead, and they are completely just not in a good mood at all. James gets canceled and has a lot less followers, so they both were actually doing stuff that, while still relating to each other, weren't just yaoi. Which I don't think that's what they were doing the whole season. Obviously, they had their strategic plays and all that, even if some of them were ass, like James's first strategic play. Um, but there was a lot of just that, which I understand was build up to their kiss, but and all of that in episode 13. But it did make me care about the other characters a little bit more, just because I feel like romance has happened so much in this show, to the point where it's getting a little bit old for me. Just romance in general, because there's like 30 ships in season 4. But not that they're bad, just that it gets so like I don't get as attached to them anymore. Especially because I was in a terrible mood after one of my favorite romances got broken up during Tom Jake, the worst show of all time. Actually, it's not the worst show of all time. I can't say that. It does hold the worst episode of any show of all time, but it's not the worst show of all time. So we see Crystal. She puts on her Connor fumes. That's a crazy way to say that. And I really liked how much Connor got involved throughout the season, especially in the Oliver storyline, as well as especially in Crystal's or not Crystal, in Rhea's storyline. In these last two episodes, it really felt like, okay, I can understand why he's an all-star over someone like Kai or Maggie or someone who made it further than him. So I was very happy with Connor's inclusion, and I've always loved Connor. I've always thought he's a cool dude. But I think that it was nice to see him actually do crap in these final two episodes, because even though he was in the betas final two, one I barely remember that beta final two, but and final three, but I I don't think he did nearly as much. If he did, it was skimmed past. So Rhea and James talk. Um, Oh, and then we pretty much complete our storyline with Crystal, Marcus, Nina, and Oliver. And I really liked that whole storyline throughout the season, because it was a lot more subtle than All Stars, which is one of my biggest problems with All Stars, even though it is my favorite season, is that Crystal and Trevor and Derek and Emily and all of them have such a big part in the story that it gets kind of annoying, even to the point where it's affecting the game. Meanwhile, in this season, it's a lot more subtle, even more so than in season 1. I feel like season 2 and season 4 have the best staff storylines, and I don't think there's really going to be a staff storyline in season 5, like at all, since there's only one staff member. Outside of, I mean, Derek and Trevor are there, but they're probably not even going to show up that often outside of maybe like the finale. Um, but I think that they were handled pretty well throughout the whole season, and it definitely helps going into All Stars. And then, yeah, that just whole plot of events feels great, and also it's always nice to see Nina coming back for more because I freaking love Nina. All right, well, I'm gonna have to be pretty quick with this one because my mom is already getting ready for our lunch because I barely woke up on time. But we have our challenge begin, and I've loved most of the challenges in this season. And while this is just a every single extreme sport ever kind of deal, I think that it definitely fits because it allows us to get a lot of character moments in this episode and also in the next episode. So we see everyone who they're supporting, and all of that makes sense. Although I don't know why, but I wasn't expecting Ali to be rooting for Rhea. I still don't really know why that happened, but I'm not. It's not like an actual complaint. It was also kind of sad but funny to see Connor rooting for Rhea and be like, "Nah, I haven't had enough time to watch the episodes." Um, and then, oh yeah, Rosa's pissed at Rhea. Everyone's pissed at Rhea, or well, not everyone, but a lot of people are pissed at Rhea. We see our Patreons, which, by the way, lore drop. Apparently, according to our Patreons, anthropomorphic creatures do exist in the Disventure Camp universe. Actually, more likely, knowing the show, that's probably a fursuit. But regardless, yeah. Some of these designs, by the way, are freaking awesome. I have it down here because I hadn't watched this episode since Saturday, and I just watched the other episode, so I don't want to get stuff mixed up. Um, but we have, yeah, we have all kinds of stuff happening throughout the extreme sports. Nothing to really talk about too much outside of like interactions like Connor and Rhea, which still stings knowing what happens in All Stars. But unlike with Hunter and Allie, it doesn't sting because I don't like what happens to him. It stings because I'm like, oh my gosh, I know how this goes. It's so peak, but it still sucks to see them being so happy together, especially with the second chance they get. We get our actual correct mid breakthrough ad for like the Patreon and stuff, because they had the season 4 one play. I can't remember if they had to play for Tom Jake or one of the season 2 episodes, but I thought that was pretty funny. And this was a new one. This was like it was with the greetings and stuff because I don't think they had the greetings in the other episodes. So they officially begin the challenge. Everyone just has some comments. Aiden and Lake talk a lot. Connor and Rhea have their whole thing go out, and Rhea has her perfume break, which is great symbolism. Um, and then our final big thing for the episode is the big moment where Rhea has Aiden fall off the cliff. Now, two things. One is people say Rhea pushed Aiden off the cliff. That's not what happened. Two, yeah, Rhea should have mortally helped Aiden, but Aiden would have been fine. I know they played up as it would have been a huge issue, but Rhea says it herself. He has wings on that. He very easily could have saved himself. Also, it's Oliver's fault a little bit too for not having a safety net, but that's not the point. I'm not blaming it on Oliver. Regardless, this is a goated like interaction, and it's another scene. This, and then especially in episode 13, we'll talk about it a lot in episode 13's quick review. But in episode 12, this is what really started to make me turn on Aiden and like Aiden a lot more. Not that I didn't like Aiden and James before, but I just didn't care about them nearly as much as the others. And it's great to see the show do that because they were honestly, outside of some of the really early boots, the only ones that I didn't really care about that much. And we have just all the build up and like, oh my gosh, he's gonna die when he's fine. But it was still good for drama, and then you have it cut off, which I'm sure would be a really good cliffhanger for people who hadn't already seen season 2. Which honestly, I kind of wish I hadn't seen the season 2 beta, because it would have made this season even better, not knowing what's gonna happen next. But it still is. Yeah, I'll say it right now. I'm going to talk more about the whole season in the next episode, but this is the most consistently good season they've ever put out. I genuinely believe every single episode is a 9 out of 10, or more realistically, a 10 out of 10. and I overall have just absolutely loved this. There's no real big complaints, nothing I hate, and I actually think they paid their voice actors for this one too. There's not a overwhelming amount of yaoi bait. Yeah, there's James and Aiden, but they're actually written well. They're not written just to be gay. They're written as good characters, unlike half the season forecast. Okay, so I'm back. I got called to go eat, and also I've kind of like rewatched a little bit more of the episode just because I feel like my thoughts were still a little muddy and I wasn't being as clear with what I was talking about in the first part. But yeah, I'll try to be quick with this because we're already 10 minutes in, or somewhere around 10 minutes in. But to finish what I was talking about a second ago, not that I don't like half the season forecast. I actually love most of the season 4 characters. I at least enjoy everyone except Diego and Logan. And then I love like Isabel. I love Tristan and those kind of characters as well. Well, now my buddy Andy's calling me. Andy, if you're watching this, shout out to you. He's probably not because he hasn't even watched this season yet. But anyways, I just feel like there is a lot of characters in there, like Ivy, for example, who were only like that just to be like that. But that's not something we need to continue talking about. I talked about that in extensive in one of my past videos. But it was great to see. It was very refreshing to see a good dude couple because I feel like this is the only good dude couple in the entire show. Because I mean, Tom Jake is disgusting. Logan and Spencer and Diego were terrible. When I say Tom Jake's disgusting, it's only disgusting because Jake's in it. It's written terribly. It got way too much screen time. Not even just in Tom Jake, but in like season 3. In season 1, it was fine. All the dude couples suck. They just suck at writing them, except for here. They locked in here, I guess, because this is a pretty good one. And it was nice to see Lake and Rosa back as well, because I love them. They're some of my favorite characters from this season. And I already talked about Connor. I already talked about the hanging, like the actual ledge part. I'm pretty sure I've talked about everything here. Overall, though, I just gotta give this episode another 10 out of 10, as it really started to make me grow on Aiden and James a lot more. To get them both, I'm like, 7 out of 10s to like 8 out of 10s here. And then they'll both go even higher in our next episode, which will be pretty much the last episode I'll ever have to grade for James for a long time. But then Aiden has All Stars, where honestly he really doesn't do anything of note. And then we'll see Aiden in season 5. But I really enjoyed this one. I hope y'all did, and I hope y'all enjoyed the quick review. I'm sorry I'm so late. I will get the other one out today as well, probably within like the next hour or so. But until then,